Hello viewers, welcome to lesson number 4 where we are going to continue with the fractions under the subtopic addition and subtraction. So today we are going to look at how do we add or subtract fractions. So now let's look at example number 9 where we are going to simplify 3 over 8 plus 4 over 5. So when you're adding fractions, the most important thing is to make sure that your answer is in the form of A over B. Here, make sure there is no any whole number there. By then, you can simply find the solutions of the given problem. Now, we have 3 over 8 being added to 4 over 5. So the first thing that we're going to look at is to find a common multiple. Well, remember in the previous lesson we defined what we call a common multiple. So in other cases we can say the LCM, which is the lowest common multiple. What we are referring to is the smallest number that is divisible by 8 and 5, but that is not the matter. Finding the LCM doesn't, or not finding the LCM doesn't make your solution impossible. You can have any other common multiple, but the reason why we want you to use the LCM is to simplify or to avoid further mistakes. So but I can assure you, you can have any other numbers that you can do or you can use. For example, here I have 40. 8 goes into 45 goes into 40, and I also have 80. 80 goes into 80, 5 goes into 80. So I can use 80, 40, or any other numbers that are divisible by 8 and 5. But remember I said the reason why we need the LCM is to simplify the problem in the easiest way. So I'm going to use 40 then as my common denominator or my common multiple. So I say 8 into 40, that's 5. The answer that I get, I multiplied with the numerator. So 8 into 40, that's 5. 5 times 3, that's 15. Plus 5 into 40, that's 8. Whatever I get, I multiply with the numerator. So 8 times 4, that's 32. Then I add now. So 15 plus 32, that's simple arithmetic. We're going to get something like 47 here. Now, over, don't forget the denominator. Now, if we look at this solution, it's an improper fraction. The numerator is bigger than the denominator. So what do? We say 40 into 47. How many times? We have 1 times. Remember what? 7 over 40. Then I look at my fraction here. Is there a number that goes into 7 and 40 besides 1? No. Then my answer is in the simplest form and my answer is correct. Now let's look at a more challenging question where we are asked to simplify 1 or 3 over 5 plus 2 was 1 over 10. So remember, previously I said whenever if you want to simplify fractions, make sure they're in the form of A over B. But if you look at these fractions now, it's in the form of XA over B, by the way X is the whole number, A is the numerator, and B is the denominator. So how do we change this number into this form now? So here you multiply the denominator with the whole number. Whatever you get, you add it to the numerator. So let's put it into practice. I have 3 over 5 here being added to 2 was 1 over 10 here. So now let's change this one into an improper fraction or into this form. So now I'm going to multiply the denominator by the one number. 5 times 1, I get 5. Then I add whatever I got here to the numerator. So I add 5 to the numerator. That's what? That's 8. So 103 over 5 becomes 8 over 5. Now plus 10 times 2, that's 20, plus what? 1. I get what? 21 over 10. Then I look for the common multiple. Here, the number that is divisible by 10 and 5 is 10. Then now I say 5 into 10, that's what? That's 2 times 8 there. It's going to be 60. 10 into 10 goes 1 time. Then whatever I get here, I multiply by the numerator. That's 21. So I add. Here, if I add, I'm going to get something like 37 over 10. Yeah, it's an improper fraction. So what do we do? 10 into 37, that's 3 remainder 7 over 10. Then I make sure nothing goes into 10 and 7 besides 1. So it's only 1 that can divide both numbers. So my answer is correct and final. So let's go to subtraction. Under example 11, we are asked to simplify 4 over 7 minus 1 over 3. So it's almost the same as we did in addition. The only thing here that is changed is only the subtraction sign. So let's go into a question. 4 over 7 minus 1 over 3. First thing, I make sure that my fractions are in the form of a over b. They are. So what do I do next? I look for the common multiple. What is it? That's 21. 7 into 21, I get 3. 3 times 4, the numerator, that's 12 here, minus 3 into 21, the 7 times 1, that's a 7 there. So 21 minus 7, what do I get? I get something like 5 for 21. I make sure the numerator is smaller than the denominator and nothing goes into 5 and 21 besides 1. Yes, so it's in the simplest form. My answer is correct and final. So now let's look at our final example 12 under addition and subtraction of fractions. We are asked to simplify 3.5 minus 1 more and a fifth. So first thing again, let's write here 1 white. So the first thing is to make sure that my fraction is in the form of a over b. So what do? I change this mixed fraction to this form. So how do I change it? I multiply the denominator by the whole number, then I add whatever I get the numerator. So here's 2 times 3, that's a 6, plus the numerator here, that's a 7. So it's going to be 7 over 2 minus 5 times 1, that's 5, plus 1, that's a 6, right? Then I find, or I look for the common denominator or a common multiple. Here, that's 10. Say 2 into the common denominator, 10, that's 5. Whatever I get, I multiply the numerator. So 5 times 7, that's 35. Minus what? 5 into 10, that's 2. Whatever I get, I multiply to 6. So it's going to be 12. Now 35 minus 12 is going to be 3 to this a 10. Then here I have an improper fraction, so I have to change it to a proper fraction. So now 10 into 23, there's 2 wholes, 3 over 10. And make sure your answer is in the simplest form. Yes, it is. Nothing goes into 3 and 10 besides 1. So that's it for today's lesson. Please do the following questions and make sure you got each answer correct. So viewers, thank you for listening to this lesson, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.